and welcome to Small Business Snippets, the podcast from smallbusiness.co.uk. I'm your host, Anna Jordan. Today we have something a little bit different. We have a sponsored podcast episode with our sponsor, UPS. I'm joined by Arthur Lam, Director of Marketing at UPS, and Marcus Mollinga, co-founder of vitamin brand YourZooki. Hi guys, how are you doing?
Good, how are you, Anna? How are you doing, Marcus?
Yeah, doing really well. So first of all, rather than me introducing you and getting a bit winded, I'll let you guys introduce yourselves. So Arthur, do you want to tell us a bit more about yourself and your role at UPS?
Sure thing. A little bit about myself. I've been very fortunate to have helped customers both big and small in the last 20 years at UPS in different capacities, starting originally in North America, then in Asia Pac. I'm currently now the marketing director for our UK, Ireland, and Nordics businesses. Very happy to be here and share my thoughts and best practices that I came across.
Great. How about you, Marcus?
Yeah, so I'm one of the co-founders of YourZooki. YourZooki is one of the fastest growing companies in the UK. We specialize in liquid supplements, which are more bioavailable compared to capsules, pills, and powders.
So most of what we're going to talk about today is around international shipping and how small businesses can deal with the logistics and the issues that face scaling up and shipping and logistics. So I'm going to start off talking to you a bit more, Marcus, because YourZooki has scaled up majorly over the course of the pandemic. How did you kind of deal with the logistics of doing that, and you know, how did your shipping provider help?
Yeah, so during 2020, well, we've been going for, we're in our 5th year of business now, and each year we've sort of doubled in size, and last year we saw huge amounts of growth, especially on the online side of the business. Sorry, there's a fire alarm going off. Sorry about that. Hopefully it's come off. So last year we scaled really fast. COVID for our type of business was good in a sense where we employed lots of new people. More people were interested in taking vitamins and supplements over other products. So last year was a very interesting year for us. And in terms of scaling, to triple a business in terms of revenue in the space of 12 months is a really difficult thing to do. So one of the major things we had to do was ensure we had the right partner to get things from A to B, because it's easy to acquire a customer, to get the product made, but then getting the product from A to B is also one of the key elements in our supply chain. So with UPS, for us to scale fast involves selling in different countries. So selling into Germany, France, Holland, Ireland is a huge market for us, and ensuring that we can get products there within a couple of day time frame is key. And UPS, I think at some points we used to go from having a couple of orders a day 4 or 5 years ago to having full lorry loads come in 2 or 3 times a day daily just to get orders out. But yeah, to really scale fast, you need to have a good product, full supply chain from making the product to getting the product to the customer, and capital. And we had to raise investment to take us to that next level as well to keep up with the growth.
So Arthur, how do you, or somebody like UPS, how do you support a business as it scales?
Yeah, a lot of businesses such as yourself, Marcus, that have gone through a rapid growth in the last 18 months. And then especially within the challenges that we see from a pandemic standpoint, we saw a huge surge in online shopping. So while the shift towards e-commerce was kind of expected from a long-term trend perspective, but the global pandemic has definitely sped up that trend. In regards to planning for changes throughout the shipping and logistics space, my advice is to really make sure that your business systems and processes are as seamless as possible. Tailored to the individual strength, challenges, and goals of the business needs that some of the small and medium-sized businesses they're seeing. That's one of the reasons why that we at UPS offer a range of services for businesses of all sizes. Maybe you are a startup looking for a free e-commerce shipping plugin, which allow you to integrate a wide range of UPS delivery services into your e-storefront. Or maybe you are SMB looking to expand your business overseas, such as what we just heard. We have a variety of solutions to make shipping process as simple as possible. But one thing that I would often remind companies, as we just heard that, hey, you know what, creating the product and shipping it out, it's one thing, but we cannot really just focus on that. The post-sales aspect, including the hassle-free return process, will really be part of kind of, instead of just creating or acquiring a one-time shopper versus acquiring a long-term repeat customer. So to help companies to scale and to really understand the e-commerce market better, our smart e-commerce report, which you can download via the link in the description box, included findings from surveys for over 10,000 consumers across some of the key European markets. In those reports, it says that 35% of UK shoppers believe that it is easier still to return unwanted products in person. So in a way, that really tells me that there's still a lot of room to grow in regards to making the return aspect of the service easier. So if companies have goals to cultivate long-term repeat business and want to provide a smooth return, I think it is important to work with experienced logistic providers to able to streamline that process and able to provide different options. We as UPS, as an example, we do have a comprehensive parcel return service option. You can either pre-print labels to ship out with your order, you get a mobile barcode, and also we have convenient drop-off and delivery points through our UPS access point locations. So really, you can choose the best fit for you as well as for your customers.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure services like that are amazingly helpful. And of course, there's been loads of changes to shipping logistics recently. So, next I'd like to just talk a bit more about like how you kind of safeguard against those uncertainties. I mean, of course, we've had COVID this year, which we weren't expecting. So as a small business who ships internationally, how do you safeguard yourself against those kind of uncertainties?
What we did, initially we were just a UK based company, and we set up third-party logistics centres in the USA, in Ireland, and in the Netherlands. So what that allowed us to do, with Brexit, it was taking, we were still using UPS and we still had all the relevant paperwork, but we're really focused on LTV, which is lifetime value of a customer. So any e-commerce company has to really focus on what is the lifetime value of a customer. And for us to open up a 3PL in a separate country to improve that customer experience, still using UPS to get the product to the end customer, made complete sense for us because we could shave off a day of shipping. So what we did to scale fast, which I'm sure lots of other companies are doing, is looking at opening third-party logistics centres in different countries.
How do you go about setting up these third-party logistics centres?
I guess it's like a dating process. You've got to speak to lots of different companies. Sue, who's our account manager at UPS, recommended a few companies we spoke to in different countries. But yeah, you just got to get to know the company, understand their fees, understand how they work, and ensure it's the right fit for your product. There'll be specialist 3PL companies for clothing, for food and health and wellness products like ours, for drinks, which might have fragile stickers on, for example. So there's all these different types of 3PL companies. And it's just, it's a similar process to finding an agency or whoever. You just got to ensure you're comfortable with them as a business.
And coming to yourself, Arthur, I mean, coming from your side of things, like how do small businesses stress test their shipping needs against these unexpected events?
I think it's unexpected from a UK business standpoint because of what we kind of discussed, the changes in either from a Brexit standpoint or a EU VAT reform that we are seeing in July, and this has happened. So crossing border now requires coordination. Compliance is a big issue, and also the right documentation and paperwork that goes all along with it. So as we really see that the new regulation takes hold and reforms, we need going to help customers to pivot their business to ensuring that they have all the information that they need, in regards to sending packages, receiving packages, working with different partners, as Marcus has mentioned. So, for example, a customer might not right now know that what they need in regards to shipping internationally, because it is different from the past. Tools that we have at UPS, including UPS Tradability, it helps customers to really understand what are some of the documentation that's required, and also provide an estimated landed cost calculation, including duties, custom fees, and potential taxes. And one of the most important things that I say from a best practice standpoint is really informing your end customers when doing the ordering process, that are they expected to be paying for duties and taxes, or would the retailer, the company, is taking that aspect of it included in the overall price. I think that's really speaking about customer experience. Another factor that, as I mentioned earlier, is kind of the EU VAT reform that started in July 1st, really impacting any imports into Europe that's from worldwide, it's not just for UK, that value up to 150 euros. And likely that is going to change the way that, especially from an e-commerce standpoint, what is the procedure and process is going to be. Yeah. So for people that are not aware, what's changing? So as of July 1st, the VAT exemption for imports into EU with an intrinsic value of 22 euros has been abolished. So before, there's no VAT to worry about going to these customers, so everything's fine and dandy. Now, the European Commission has created this, they call Import One-Stop Shop, or IOSS platform, that they have launched to help to settle this VAT in Europe for goods up to 150 euros. And then the last thing is kind of the online marketplace. If you are selling on that, the online marketplace itself will be responsible for the compliancy of the Europe VAT when you're selling goods up to 150 euros. Now, that's a lot of jargons and so on and so forth. I'm not going to be able to explain all of the ins and outs on this particular podcast. But one thing that we do at UPS is really to continue our commitment in regards to supporting our small business customer through these changes. So UPS has selected the tax consultant PwC, PricewaterhouseCoopers, to offer IOSS intermediary and compliance service for our customers who currently don't have an EU-based establishment. So our customers can register for this PwC IOSS assistance on our website if they so choose.
Great. And of course, we're talking about small businesses as a customer, but we also recognize that, especially since the pandemic has hit, a lot of customers of your customers' businesses are going online, and it looks as if that shift could move online significantly for the long term. I guess, Marcus, that works quite well for you because, I mean, you're predominantly an online product, though I understand that you do sell in-store as well.
Yeah, you know, to be fair, the majority, it switches on month to month, but a big part of our revenue is still in retail. You know, we're sold in close to 4,000 stores worldwide in the USA and GNC, Holland and Barrett, and Boots in the UK. But we're also in hundreds of independent stores around the UK and Ireland, and UPS do all of our deliveries to the independent stores. So, for example, a local pharmacy who's ordering a couple of boxes, UPS does all of our B2B. So we've sort of used UPS as a D2C and a B2B solution. So yeah, the shift online, you know, from an operations point of view, yes, it's easier, but I still think being in retail is fantastic. You know, we have some great retail partners. It's mutually beneficial. You know, we sell a lot of products in their store. It helps build the brand awareness for our brand. I don't think the high street is going to disappear. I think it's just going to change on how products are sold. But I still think more and more people will be shopping online, but I don't think the high street is going to disappear. I think they've just got to adapt to how they sell products. And, you know, I think put more importance on the experience for the customer within the store.
Absolutely. But staying online a bit, Arthur, what advice would you give to SMBs who are dealing with this changing market, who are, you know, more and more online, and their sort of expectations as to what they would want from a business that is retailing online?
I think for customer buying habits, has definitely changed. And I agree with Marcus that the high street is not going to go away. I think people still need the interaction, still wants to see, touch and feel and so on and so forth. It's just going to operating in a different way. Now, in regards to the changing habits and what they expect from from retailers or businesses, we saw that from a recent World Economic Forum report. It actually predicts by 2030, the last mile delivery expected to grow by 80%. As we know, you can buy a lot of groceries online now. There's food delivery and online store. All those things add up, unfortunately, do create global emissions to rise. And the transport sectors contribute to around 21% of that. And then from a road freight is around 29%. But however, we do also see that consumers are really leading the charge in demanding more from businesses in regards to sustainability. So within our report, we actually did see some insights and findings that to back this up as well. Consumers are not just right now, of course, not in the boardroom to vote for any sustainability strategy of a particular business, but we do see that they are indirectly voting with their wallets, doing their purchasing decision. So our report our survey see that 64% of respondents actually said that it's important that a retailer delivery partner offers sustainable delivery options. 32% of shoppers wanted to see small and independent retailers to offer carbon offset, footprint offset for their deliveries. And over a third of our UK respondents said that they wanted to see retailers offer alternative delivery options at a reduced price. So for example, if I'm able to pick up from a locker or a collection point, give me that option so that I can choose and be a responsible citizen while at the same time getting that flexibility and such. So we at UPS, we do try to we do offer this flexibility via our UPS access points location, as I mentioned, offering free redirect options up to 15 minutes before they're delivered, providing choice and convenience to our customers. And that's for our customers who are businesses that are trying to provide that options to their end consumers to help them to become good corporate citizens as well.
Marcus, are you seeing these same sorts of expectations in terms of flexibility and sustainability from your customer base too?
I think sustainability is a huge thing at the moment, and I think it's going to continue for the rest of our lives, hopefully. And we've invested quite a lot of money recently. We've recently had our products certified carbon negative, not carbon neutral, but carbon negative. And I believe we're one of the first supplement brands in the world to be certified as carbon negative. We've also implemented a recycling rewards scheme. So we encourage all of our customers to recycle their sachets, and in return, they'll get rewarded by points on the website, which reduces the cost price of the next purchase. And I think consumers are happy to pay and invest more money into brands who are, whether it's carbon neutral or carbon negative, or investing and giving to charity or doing something good to the local community. I think that's definitely a big part for people looking to set up a new brand. I think it's, maybe 10 years ago, that wouldn't be part of the business plan. But I think in today's generation, it definitely needs to be part of the business plan where, part of your business is dedicated to helping the local community and ensuring you have a positive impact on the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think consumers are becoming a lot more savvy as to where items come from, and then they can do so much research themselves. So I think that's definitely such a huge consideration. If
I could add to that point, I threw a lot of figures earlier, but then there's one last one that I'll throw out because it relates directly to what Marcus is saying. In the research that we saw in the report, it's very clear that millennials and Gen Z, that people that are under the age of 34, they have confirmed that 53% of them in UK have said that a brand sustainability record is actually their #1 priority. So this is definitely a major shift from for the previous generations and other target customers. So as brands continue to look for where they sit in regards to competitiveness and growth, is definitely an area that need to be focused on, and it's very happy to see that all the work that YourZooki have been doing in that aspect.
Yeah, No, that's brilliant. So we've covered a fair bit of ground here. Is there anything either of you would like to add, or you feel would be relevant to anything that we've discussed today?
I think from a small business point of view, we first started working with UPS literally on our first orders leaving. We're working from home, from the kitchen table, doing 1 or 2 orders a week with UPS, and they've grown with us throughout the whole of the lifestyle cycle of the business, and now we have a couple of lorries every day coming to the warehouse. So I think it's interesting to see how you can create a partnership, and that partnership isn't there just for 6 months just to get you from A to B, but they're with you throughout the whole life cycle of the business.
Yeah, I mean, sustaining those long-term relationships is so important. Do you have any either of you to have any advice as to how to maintain these relationships as long as UPS and YourZooki have?
I think, from my point of view, from a brand owner's point of view, any relationship, including the relationship with UPS, I think it's really important to have, open communication, whether you're working with an investor, a manufacturer, 3PL, or your logistics partner. It's always good just to communicate. You always want someone you can pick up the phone to, and just ask them a question, and they'll answer. And if they don't answer, they'll return your call. Because lots of companies won't return your call, and you can't. It's very difficult to run a business in the early days where you can't just pick up the phone and ask someone a question. And with UPS, especially during the Brexit scenario, we were on the phone to our account manager a couple of times a day asking for help and advice on how do we get products into certain countries and the correct paperwork we need. And that's, it's a very personable approach, which, helps us. It saves us money because we're not having to employ someone else to head up that department and figure it out themselves. We're utilising UPS's resources to help benefit our business.
Anything you want to add to that, Arthur?
No. I think, as I mentioned earlier, the consultative approach that I mentioned, that we go through, we really want to partner with our customers through trough and peak. So even in the upcoming seasons, we will be working with our customers to understand how they are seeing their orders being projected, so that we can work through to ensure that we can provide the top-notch service that they are looking for. I think at the end, I think I would say is really thank Marcus and his company's, patronage in regards to from the start at the beginning, and I'm sure that we would have more years to come to continue to partner, and as their company continue to grow into different areas, different continents, different lanes, we will be continue to be there with them through the process.
Great. Well, that seems like a great place to wrap up. So yeah, I'll leave it there. But thank you both ever so much for coming on the podcast. It's been wonderful.
Thank you very much, Anna.
Thank you, Marcus.
Cheers, Arthur.
You can find out more about UPS and the Smart E-commerce report in the description box below. You can also find out more about YourZooki at YourZooki.com. Head over to smallbusiness.co.uk for more articles on exports and international business. Remember to like us on Facebook at Small Business Experts, on Twitter at Small Business UK, all lowercase, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, linked in the description below. Until next time, thank you for listening.